Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Kristen May, and this is May Love Light. And this is Mindful Mondays. I will be doing this throughout the month of May. For those of you who don't know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I just thought it would be a good time for me to start these back up. If you want to see past Mindful Mondays, I did them on Instagram. It's the same handle, May Love Light, if you want to take a look at those. And also, May is Asian American Pacific Islander um, Heritage Month. And I think it's important to mention that just because of a lot of the popularization of meditation and mindfulness, a lot of it has the lineages comes from Buddhist teachings, and these teachings came over into the West many, 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 many years ago through the Chinese and Japanese immigrants, and the popularization of mindfulness. Now, a lot of people accredit it to John Kabat-Zinn, who created the mindfulness-based stress reduction program, which is done through a lot of like health institutions, helps people with pain management and many other things. And also, like I went through like UCLA's training mindfulness, and that's more of a secularized program talking about facilitation. So anyway, I say all this to say, yeah, deep bows and gratitude to those who brought these teachings over to the West throughout generations. And yeah, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the land that I am residing on, the land that I'm being held by. I am located on Anishinaabe territory, and the Anishinaabe people are made up of Chippewa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi. And these people have been stewards of the land for generations, millennia. And this land is also known as Wahwetanong, and it's also known as Detroit, Michigan. And the acknowledgement of the land, it is important because of the erasure of indigenous cultures and people, just acknowledging the colonization of this land that we're occupying and those who are the original stewards of it. I would like to talk about a little bit about like it's been a couple of years since I last did a Mindful Mondays or Mindful Monday. And one of the things that happened, I've been having a chronic, like, I don't even want to say chronic, I've been having a cough. And so this cough has been happening for quite some time. And the past few months it's gotten worse, that it's like been impacting my respiratory system, and I'm currently working on recovering from that. So if there are times when I start coughing during practice, know that I'm okay. I have my tea here, I have some water that will help me. And yeah, I was a little self-conscious about it, not a little, a lot, um, when I was doing the Mindful Mondays before. And so I'll talk more about that as these different weeks go by. I have my notes here. So these sessions will be around like 30 minutes, maybe like 25 to 30 minutes. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling and just feeling into the space. We'll start off with a little introduction. I'll talk a little bit about what we'll be doing for the day and do a little check-in. And then we'll go into like a 10 to 15-minute practice. And then from that, open it up for any like questions and reflections. If you have questions for me, you can submit them. Um, I know like through YouTube, there's a way that you can direct message me or DM me. And if not, you can also email me. It's maylovelight, the number 8 at Gmail. Send me an email if you have questions, and then I can respond to them on here. Yeah, let's just take a little breath together. because I just said a lot of things. Okay. How are we feeling this morning? I was experiencing nervousness. I can feel the temperature of my body has increased since I started talking. It's a bit of the nervousness, which is okay. I feel like for me, when I'm nervous, it's just a sign that I am excited. I really care about what it is I'm about to do. So yeah, I'm glad that you're able to join me on like today, and I'll post these videos so you can review them at your own leisure. So today I'll be talking about just like basic, a basic meditation, setting up an anchor. And what we talk about with an anchor is an area of focus. So our minds are pretty much a lot of the culture that we're in, dominant culture, our mind is not really trained for focusing. There's a lot of distractions. Keeping us distracted is very lucrative. And so, when we are intentional about training our minds and refocusing our attention intentionally, there is a lot of benefits that can happen from that. And so with meditation, when we talk about our anchor, it's going to be an area of focus that you're going to bring your attention back to over and over again. And we're cultivating increasing of awareness and bringing our attention into the space. So, different anchors you can have. It can be your breath, it can be sound, whether it's like an ambient sound. I have an air purifier next to me, so I can like hear the hum of that. Maybe you have like your laptop, if it makes a sound of some sort. If It can be just like birds outside your window chirping, maybe different sounds that are happening in your environment. That can be a source of an anchor. It can also be your body. Because I've been having issues with my breathing, it's been very difficult for me to use my breath as an anchor. And I can talk more about that. Excuse me. Mm. So what I was doing is I will use a part of my body that I can bring my focus to. And when you do that, for people who might have chronic pain, you would not bring your focus to an area that you have difficulty. Like if you have issues with your knees, you would bring your attention to a place where you have less difficulty. Like my hands were a point of focus for me, just like resting my hands on my lap and bringing my attention to how my hands feel on the fabric, the coolness of my hands, any warmth I might feel, just like bringing my attention back. So the mind is going to do what it does. We're not here to stop the thoughts, that is impossible. But as we cultivate this focusing, because we're not getting captured by all the thoughts, it perceives as the mind is quieting because we're not chasing after them. Um, and so I just wanna make sure there is not like, a perfect way. I really want to empower you. You know your body, and, like, as you do this, you can feel into what really supports you. Okay. And so, um, once again, our anchors are our breath, sound, or sensations in the body. I talked about, like, using your hands. I can focus on my seat in the chair, and I can feel, like, the pressure. I can feel where my weight is. I can feel I can feel more pressure on the right side than the left, and then I can kinda take that information in, like, do I wanna tilt a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little bit to the side? Just as I said, settle into the space. So just making sure that you have a comfortable environment around you. You can practice anywhere, even if you're in a busy environment. Just making sure that you're comfortable where you are. I like to sit in a chair when I practice. If you are sitting on the ground, sit on a cushion, sitting cross-legged, whatever feels good for you. Just make sure you can keep that position for the next like 15 minutes. Okay. If you wish to stand, you can do that. If you want your feet to be like your anchor area of focus, just bringing your attention to the sensations that are happening in the feet. You can kind of test it out by like leaning a little bit forward and feeling your weight shift, and leaning a little bit back and like feeling your weight shift and lean to the side, and then just finding a nice even place to stand, and just bringing your attention to the sensations in the feet and noticing like all the like micro movements that happen in the body to maintain an upright position. There's so much that's happening. You can probably feel like the muscles in the legs that are shifting to maintain um, a standing posture. But if you don't, that's okay too. And if you try to feel into the body and you're just like, Kristen, I cannot feel into my body, that is okay too. You can use sound if feeling into the body is really challenging right now. You can use sound. You can use the sound of my voice. I'll let you know when I will stop talking at some point. And don't worry. All right. I feel like I've said enough. Let's just dive in. It's very experiential, which I appreciate. Okay. All right. So allowing yourself to find a position that you can maintain for these next 10 to 15 minutes. Excuse me. You can soften your gaze by looking forward, maybe like 3 feet. Or you can close the eyes completely if that is comfortable for you. Just taking a moment to feel into the body. If there's any stretching that the body is calling for, you can do that. If you close your eyes, let's reopen them and just take a moment to look around the space. This is orienting. You can look to the side, you can look behind you. This is just letting ourselves know that we are safe enough in this space to practice together. And now, allowing the body to settle. And if it's comfortable for you, we'll take some breaths together. However comfortable. If it's comfortable for you to take deep breaths, you can do that. If it's just some comfortable, intentional breaths without forcing it, which will be the route that I will take. Let's exhaling the air, a breath in, and exhaling, a breath in, and exhaling. One more breath in, and exhaling together. Once again, if it's comfortable for you, you can close the eyes. I'm resting my hand on my stomach just to allow myself to feel the breath. And remembering our anchor. If there's one that is pulling your attention a little bit more, and start with that one. If it's the breath, if it's sound, if it's if it's sensations in the body. Once again, if it's sound, you want to use sounds in your environment. It can be ambient sounds, the hum of a air purifier, refrigerator, maybe the air conditioner or heater. If you're around fluorescent lights, maybe it's the hum of the lights. And as the mind drifts off into thought, which it will do, just gently guide yourself back, guiding ourselves back to our anchor. And there's another thought, and we guide ourselves back. Each time is an opportunity for us to come home to ourselves and starting again. And if there's a moment where you feel like you need to move your body, you need to adjust, bring awareness to that. Like, I really need to move, or I really need to stretch one side, and be aware of that and intentional, and then make whatever adjustments you need to do. Instead of it being reactive, you take note, notice it, and then you're making choice to move. That's another way of just a subtle way of moving out of the reactive habit pattern. If your breath is your anchor, just noticing the inhale and the exhale. And as the mind wanders off, you bring yourself back to the inhale and the exhale. If there are different sounds or things in the environment that come into the space that weren't there before, just allow them to be. Bring yourself back to your anchor. Allowing yourselves to come back, coming back. And if you're using the sound of my voice as an anchor, just allowing yourself to be in that space of the gaps when you don't hear my voice. And you just allow yourself to receive sound. And as my voice comes back into the space, just noticing my voice entering into the space and then leaving. As we prepare to bring this practice to a close, we just want to invite ourselves to set an intention, an intention for the week. Can be whatever is coming to mind. May I be more gentle to myself. May I have more grace for myself. Whatever that is arising. Allowing yourself to rest in that intention. We will take a few breaths together. Again, as we close this practice, just exhaling the breath in a comfortable place for yourself. And inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale once more and exhale. Allowing your eyes, if they were closed, to open back. Bring yourself back into the space. Welcome back. How are you feeling from when we first began? And how are you feeling now? I noticed that the warmth that I was feeling in my body has settled a little bit, so that's great. It's settled a bit. Um, excuse me. Yeah. So next week, I'm going to talk more about the breath anchor, like anchoring with the breath. I'll talk about that specifically, and then I'll dive in more deep about using sound as an anchor the following week, and then the body. So I'll talk more about that. Um, so that's something to look forward to. And we'll see how these go, if I'll continue. Right now, I'm just here with you on the 5th of May, 2025. Yeah, and so, before I let you all go, I'd like for us to, this is an invitation. Always wanted to make sure that you are everything I suggest and I say is an invitation. You choose what you would like to do and what you don't want to do. That's between you. Um, and the invitation is for us to send some loving kindness um, to all beings everywhere. So, yeah, if you like, you can repeat after me, or you can just like allow these words to just kind of sink in. Yeah. So, may all beings abide in the ease of well being. May all beings be safe from both internal and external harm. May all beings know connection, love, joy, and peace. May all beings be truly free. And this comes from a dear group that I love, Dharma Homies Collective, specifically Devon Sangster Rath within the group that cultivated these phrases. Yeah, so I will be here next week, same time. Um, so yeah, we will see how this goes, and definitely just, like, provide me grace as I navigate through this live streaming on YouTube. This is new for me, and so we'll figure it out, like sound and all the different things, and I hope to see you again, and take great care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one.